Snark Squad. Babes, the wine is on deck, you are on deck, and babes, we are here.
We are so here.
Snark Squad, babes unite.
The glasses are aggressively full tonight.
They are overflowing. Like, I am taking a sip right now and just settling in because the week has been a lot.
It has been exceptionally long, and this rosé is dangerously cold.
It goes down like water, which is honestly how all of our best mistakes happen.
Literally the blueprint for chaos.
Right. But wait, before we even get into the absolute mess of reality TV this week, I need to take a massive pivot.
Oh boy, here we go.
We need to talk about music. Because, babes, Bessie here just made a discovery.
I did. I really did.
You discovered Noah Kahan and the music. Bestie, it is giving.
I need to confess this to the Snark Squad because honestly, it feels like a personal failing, but also a complete spiritual awakening.
It is an awakening.
You know, I actively resist viral music.
Yeah.
Like, if TikTok tells me to like a song, my immediate reflex is absolute hatred.
You are such a contrarian.
I am, but the algorithm just wore me down. And the vibe is just, it is folk pop, highly emotional. You are driving down a highway with the windows completely down.
Yes.
It is giving absolute main character energy, but you are also slightly sad and devastated.
Wait, why is this hitting me so hard, though? Like, you texted me the link, and I was in the grocery store having an emotional breakdown by the avocados.
Because it targets the exact specific emotional cocktail of being young, but your bones hurt and you miss your hometown.
Exactly. And I honestly did not expect you to like this at all.
I didn't expect it either. I do not have the bandwidth for a man in a flannel shirt telling me his feelings.
But the banjo just gets you.
It bypasses all logical defenses.
Well, babes, we didn't expect to have a podcast either, and yet here we are. That is just life.
Profound. Truly terrifying, but profound.
We just surrender to the chaos. Which, actually, speaking of chaos, let's talk about cancel culture.
Wow. Oh, a very sharp, slightly unhinged pivot from folk music. I love it.
I am having a spiral about it. Because the pop culture landscape right now is basically a minefield.
It is. So where do we stand? Do we agree with it? Is it necessary, or has it just gone completely too far?
Okay, I take a very emotional stance on this, like a very passionate stance. Accountability is everything.
Right.
When these reality stars do something completely toxic, there has to be a mechanism for the audience to push back.
But does there, though? Let's analyze that.
Yes. If we don't have some form of cancel culture, then terrible people just get lucrative brand deals and zero consequences.
I validate your passion, babe. I do. But looking at it analytically, half the time the mob isn't coming for actual abusers.
I mean, sometimes they are.
But mostly they initiate a massive pile-on over, like, a poorly worded tweet from 12 years ago.
Okay, true.
The punishment never scales to the crime. It is just performative outrage. The internet doesn't want growth. They want the dopamine hit of a digital public execution.
But if they built their platform on lies and manipulation, why shouldn't we knock it down? It is about protecting the community.
Protect the community, sure, but the mob is wildly fickle. You cancel a reality star on a Tuesday for an ugly outfit and then ignore a massive Hollywood director on Thursday.
Okay, babes. The wine has us going entirely off the rails tonight.
It is getting heavy.
We are solving society's moral feelings in the first 10 minutes. But also, it is so good.
The wine is doing its job. I am vibrating with energy.
Same. But listen, we have an actual emergency, like a boots-on-the-ground crisis.
Sound the alarm.
My niece is absolutely obsessed with Nido.
Oh my gosh, the squishy toys.
Yes. And babes, if anyone in the Snark Squad has a Nido plug, you need to drop into our DMs immediately.
It is a full psychological addiction. How many does she even have at this point?
Betsy, she has like 40 of them.
Right.
And they are everywhere.
Just neon alien blobs multiplying in the house.
Exactly. There are color-changing ones, glow-in-the-dark ones, the shaggy ones that look like a Muppet.
It is the bizarre textures that make them so insidious.
Right. Like the ones filled with that wet kinetic sand that make that gross squelching sound. Why are these things so weirdly addictive for kids and adults?
It is a brilliant sensory trap. You handed me one earlier that looked like a radioactive cheese puff, and I squeezed it once, and 10 minutes of my life evaporated.
I sat on the couch, aggressively needing a lime green one for an hour. It just absorbs your negative energy.
So please, Snark Squad, access the black market for squishy neon blobs and hook us up.
We are begging. Okay, I need to shift gears again because, babes, we are planning a summer trip to the Hamptons.
Oh, are we? Have we paid deposits?
In my mind, we have. Think about it. Recording an episode from the Hamptons would be iconic.
Oh, it would definitely be a vibe.
We would be draped in linen, salty ocean breeze, gossiping about Bravo right where all the drama actually happens. I feel so emotional because we deserve this trip.
Bestie, look directly into my eyes. Babes, we have dentist money, not rich people money.
Why do you have to stab me in the heart?
I am pulling you back from financial ruin. The Hamptons is an economic stronghold designed to repel people like us.
But we could fake it. I have fake rich outfits planned. A floppy straw hat, vintage sunglasses, a crisp button-down.
You'd wear a Zara button-down, forget to steam it, and the hostess at the beach club would smell the middle-class panic on your pores and call security.
Stop. We would be demure. We would order exactly one $30 Aperol spritz and nurse it for 6 hours.
Just letting the ice completely melt into orange soup.
Taking microscopic sips while judging people with bottle service?
The sheer terror of being exposed as frauds would ruin it. We'd share a single $50 lobster roll and ask if they take Klarna.
The summer delusion is so sweet, though.
Well, speaking of delusion, I think we are slightly tipsy, fully chaotic, and absolutely ready to get into this week's episode.
Yes. Snark Swad, grab your wine. We are dying to tell you what happened this week in Republic.
Let's unpack the absolute mess that is episode 8.
Oh my God. Starting with Joe and Maddi. The emotions of Joe Bradley.
The labyrinth of lies.
Bestie, we have to break down this massive fight in the alleyway.
The confrontation was wild.
So Joe was at another bar drinking when he explicitly told Maddi he was working.
He just blatantly lied to her face.
And Maddi's reaction was so real. She just went dead-eyed and said, "We need space."
It was a very grounded boundary for her. But did you see the Reddit comments about the physical body language?
Yes. The Snark Squad is so observant.
People are pointing out that when Maddi hugged Joe, she looked like she had the romantic ick, like a terminal case of the ick.
And I completely emotionally defend Maddi here. When you feel the ick, it is a full cellular rejection.
Her body went totally rigid.
She is just bone-deep exhausted from dating a renovation project. Her nervous system put up a velvet rope and said, absolutely no entry for this man.
The ick is a brilliant defense mechanism. The romantic illusion violently shatters.
And then Joe's excuse. I was screaming at my TV.
Oh, the excuse might be the most audaciously unbelievable defense in reality TV history.
He claimed he was going out to meet investors for a future location.
A venture capital pitch meeting at a sticky floor dive bar on a Tuesday. The absolute towering delusion of that man.
He is drinking Warmwell tequila and calling it networking.
He is weaponizing corporate buzzwords to retroactively justify his binge drinking.
It is deeply toxic.
It is. He's trying to feint the script so Maddi looks unsportive.
But Maddi gave him the most iconic reality check. She literally said, "You're 30, it's a midlife fucking crisis, chill the fuck out."
Surgically precise, 10 words to diagnose his entire pathology.
I wanted to put it on a billboard, but then it actually led to that raw confession from Joe.
Right, the armor cracked.
He admitted he uses alcohol to cope with his social anxiety and that he can't say no to going out.
It was a very dark, real moment of self-awareness.
I felt for him, I really did. Social anxiety is so hard in your 20s. But the snarky reality here...
The snarky reality is that he literally works in a nightclub.
Exactly. You cannot have crippling social anxiety that you treat with alcohol and then make your career managing the loudest, most alcohol-soaked venue in Charleston.
It is a catastrophic misalignment of a career path.
It makes no sense. Which brings us to the brother dynamic.
Oh, Michael flying in from Chicago.
Michael exudes corporate stability. He's the golden child. And they were in the bathroom, doing each other's eyeliner.
Visually cute, but the psychological tension in that bathroom was thick.
Joe's inferiority complex was radiating off the screen.
He is desperately trying to prove to his older brother that he isn't just a party boy.
And how does he do that? By engaging in the delusion of marriage.
Classic panic response.
He literally tells Michael he is looking at rings and wants to marry Maddi within a year. Bestie, they haven't slept in the same bed in a week.
When the foundation of your relationship is rotting, you don't fix it, you just build a fairy tale castle on top of it.
He thinks a diamond ring is a magical eraser for his lies.
He wants to skip the emotional labor.
But then we get to the actual emo night party. And babes, against all odds, it was a massive success.
We have to be objective. The party looked incredible. The moshing, the merchandise, the crowd density.
He actually pulled it off. Even Leva showed up.
Leva doesn't show up without a strategic reason. She gave him props, but then she hit him with the ultimate boss shade.
Iconic.
She looks at this highly profitable event and calmly says, "Why didn't you do this at Republic?"
Chilling. A flawless CEO moment. Reminding him that every dollar spent there is revenue siphoned away from her.
Masterclass in management intimidation.
But the future updates are even wilder. Snark Squad, if you aren't checking social media, they are still together.
They survived the alleyway.
They went to Coachella, partied with Shiana Shea and Ali Luber in the VIP tent,
Chaotic crossover energy.
and they adopted a mini Bernedoodle named Ozzy. Plus, they told People magazine they are looking to buy a house.
So let's analyze this. Are we looking at a happily ever after or a ticking time bomb wrapped in a fluffy puppy?
I am a romantic. I want to believe the alley fight was a wake-up call. A dog grounds you. A mortgage grounds you. Maybe he's trading dive bars for Home Depot.
Oh, babe, your optimism is pure. But mathematically, this is a financial and emotional disaster. You do not cure alcohol reliance with a designer dog and a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage.
It's a lot of pressure.
They are just adding intense stress to a broken foundation. It is a ticking time bomb.
Okay, well, speaking of bombs going off, we have to talk about Emmy. The dangerous delusions of Emmy Sherritt, Brad, and Julia.
The rumor mill in Charleston is toxic right now.
Julia is at the hair salon, which is basically a real-world Reddit thread, and here's this insane gossip.
Emmy is telling people Brad stalked her outside her New York hotel room.
Claiming he was drunk and aggressively banging on her door while she was naked in the bathroom.
A massive escalation from petty gossip to allegations of predatory behavior.
And Brad is just exhausted. He noted that Emmy feels remorse in the moment when confronted, but then goes home.
She goes home, talks to her mom or her boyfriend Will Culp, and gets fired up to play the victim again.
Exactly. And then at emo night, Julia pulls Emmy aside to confront her.
Julia is fiercely loyal. She asks her point blank if she said it.
And Emmy completely denies it, without a flinch.
But the editors...
Give the Bravo editors an Emmy right now.
They deserve a massive bonus.
The second she denies it, they roll the tape. They show a flashback of Emmy definitely saying it to Lucia in cut solo footage.
They deployed the receipts with lethal precision.
Okay, Snark Squad, we need to pause here. We have to put our reporter hats on for a second.
Yes, critical clarification.
We are explicitly framing this next part as reporting on the fans' outrage. We are reading the Reddit threads and neutrally conveying the audience's perspective to you.
We are not taking a political side ourselves. We're just the messengers observing the discourse.
Exactly. And the Reddit backlash is furious. Fans are calling Emmy a, quote, dangerous white woman.
They are heavily using the term Karen.
Yes, because of the historical dynamics of a white woman weaponizing her tears to make Brad, a black man, sound like a dangerous predator.
The audience is highlighting that these false allegations carry a completely different and severe weight for a black man.
Fans are demanding Bravo HR step in because it is a hostile workplace.
And the Reddit detectives noticed something else. Emmy tried to blame her behavior on having ADHD,
which the neurodivergent fans immediately dismantled.
You cannot use ADHD as a blanket excuse for defamatory statements.
My emotional reaction is just how deeply unfair this is to Brad. He's just trying to do his job, and his character is being assassinated.
From an analytical standpoint, Emmy is orchestrating a PR disaster. The audience sees right through the manipulation.
It is so dark. So let's cleanse the palate with some Mean Girls in middle school drama.
A jarring tonal shift to Lake, Mia, Molly, and our King Michaels.
The paint and pour fallout. Mia and Molly walked out because Lake accused them of being bad friends to Jordan.
Molly is always in a state of utter confusion about why people are mad at her.
She feels like Lake and Emmy are in an I Hate Molly club. But while they are fighting over acrylic paint, Michaels is in NYC living his best life.
Thriving. He meets his agent and secures a Men's Warehouse campaign.
Secure that retail bag.
But in true Michaels fashion, victory comes with chaos. He lost a dating app gig because his profile was banned
for naked pics. And he casually mentions making out with 3 guys and TJ in a moving cab.
The physical logistics of making out with 4 people in a yellow cab baffle me. That requires incredible core strength.
Olympic flexibility.
Oh?
And the editors striking again, putting a giant reserve sign over his crotch during the photo shoot.
Hey, Art. But back in Charleston, Mia tries to squash the beef at emo night.
And Lake just refuses, calls Mia a bitch, and they scream in each other's faces over the loud music.
The aggression was completely disproportionate. Which brings us to the hilarious Reddit crush theory.
I'm obsessed with this theory. The internet thinks Lake is actually just super attracted to Mia.
The evidence is compelling. Lake makes us queer-coded Jennifer's body references.
And she hyperfixates on Mia's physical appearance.
It is the psychology of pulling the pigtails of the girl you like on the playground.
I am so torn. Emotionally, I feel like Lake is just acting like a 14-year-old for camera time.
Manufactured drama.
But then I think, what if it is deeply repressed attraction, manifesting his petty rage.
When you hate someone that passionately for no reason, it's usually because they make you feel something complicated.
I love dissecting the hidden romance.
Oh.
Okay, let's move to DMs, lies, and sleepovers. Justin, Charlie, and Mia.
Just an aside, a walking textbook of manipulative dating strategies.
He is devastated to be back in the friend zone with Mia. He admits the Jordan situation was abysmal.
And Mia is totally unbothered.
She literally says she has athlete DMs to answer back. She is in the major leagues.
She knows her market value.
But Justin immediately slid into Southern Charm star Charlie Manley's DMs.
A highly calculated crossover romance.
But bestie, I think it's a cute meet cute. They went on a date, had chemistry.
Babes, please use your brain. Justin is using Charlie as a buoyant life raft to paddle onto Southern Charm to secure his Bravo contract.
But the date sounded fun until he lied.
He straight up confessed to the cameras that he lied about being locked out of his apartment to get a cheeky little sleepover at her place.
And Charlie and Sally show up to emo night. Someone calls Justin a love bomber, and he just smiles.
He loves the accusation. Okay, we have to move into our segments because that recap was a marathon.
Yes. Segment 1. Service industry secrets. Who is actually working at this club and who is just performing for attention?
The economics of Republic make no sense. Let's analyze Joe's event planning.
Throwing his party outside of Republic. Was it a boss move to show Leva he has hustle? Or a massive misstep to not bring revenue to his own boss?
It's a double-edged sword. It shows initiative, but loyalty is currency in hospitality. He essentially told Leva he doesn't need her building.
Emotionally, it feels like a slap in the face to Leva.
But he needed autonomy. Now look at Emmy's workplace chaos.
It is a literal HR nightmare. If I am paying $3,000 for a bottle of vodka with a sparkler, I don't want my bottle girl crying in the corner accusing the VIP host of stalking.
The vibe is ruined. From a management perspective, you can't run a VIP section with staff accusing each other of criminal behavior. The legal liability is astronomical.
Which is why Michaels is the only one actually securing his bag.
He is using the platform to build an exit strategy with Men's Warehouse while they fight over high school drama.
Okay, segment 2. Flirt or strategy? Are these connections real or just part of the game?
Justin and Charlie. I am deeply cynical.
You think it's all strategy to get on Southern Charm?
Yes. The Lost My Keys lie is a masterclass in F-boy strategy. It artificially forces intimacy.
It is super manipulative. What about Lake and Mia?
I firmly believe it's a flirtation strategy gone wrong. She doesn't know how to process the emotions, so she picks fights to ensure Mia engages with her.
Either I'm your best friend or your sworn nemesis, but I will be the center of your universe.
Exactly. And Joe's investors.
Calling his dive bar bender a meeting with investors is the most delusional excuse ever.
Venture capitalists do not hang out at sticky-floored dive bars at 1 a.m.
You don't secure Series A funding over beer pong.
It is a psychological shield to make Maddi the villain. Gaslighting disguised as ambition.
Ugh, it makes me so mad. Okay, segment 3. If we worked here, insert ourselves into the Republic workplace.
Let's be brutally honest, I am not carrying a drink tray.
No way. I would be a bottle girl for 2 hours, trip over a wire, spill cranberry juice on a Rolex, and get demoted to coat check.
I would be the VIP host taking Venmo bribes at the rope.
Actually, we would just sit in the alleyway on overturned milk crates, eating cold French fries and gossiping.
The Greek chorus of the alleyway.
And if Lake came back there complaining about Mia, I would lose it. I'd yell at her to either kiss Mia or leave her alone so I can eat my fries.
I would be running a shadow economy, skimming from the tip pool and aligning with Michaels.
You are corrupt.
I am surviving. Imagine if we worked emo night.
I would steal the mic and belt out Fall Out Boy.
We would be fired on day 1.
Leva would call security immediately. Okay, final segment. Segment 4. Snark Squad predictions.
Throw out the bold, unhinged predictions.
Prediction 1.
Yeah.
Joe and Maddie's house. I choose to believe in love. They buy the house, he calms down, and we get a beautiful Bravo wedding by season 5.
I fundamentally disagree to my core. I predict a catastrophic on-camera mortgage default.
Best you know.
They will buy a house they can't afford to prove they are stable. The stress will exacerbate his drinking. They break up and fight over Ozzy the dog in mediation.
That is so bleak, but probably accurate. Prediction 2. Emmy's fate. Will she be fired? Will Pulp leave her?
Here is my bold prediction. Will Culp is the mastermind behind the scenes.
Wait, elaborate immediately.
He presents as the rational guy dealing with a chaotic girlfriend, but I think he hypes her up off camera, telling her to double down and play the victim for brand deals.
That is diabolical.
He will become the primary villain next season while keeping his hands clean.
I love that. Okay, prediction 3, Oisin. He randomly appeared at the party.
The chaotic energy of Oisin.
My prediction is he joins full-time next season as a wrecking ball. He'll sleep with Lake, hit on Mia to make Lake mad, and get into a physical fight with Joe.
He is the ultimate wildcard variable.
Babes, my heart is racing. We covered so much ground today.
My vocal cords are exhausted.
Snark Squad, thank you for hanging out with us on the couch tonight.
We deeply appreciate you spiraling with us. Remind them to share the show with their messiest friend.
Yes. Send them the link, and please rate and review.
Every 5-star review gets us one step closer to splitting a lobster roll in the Hamptons.
Bringing it full circle, bestie. Babes, we started with wine and crying to Noah Kahan, somehow ended up planning a Hamptons trip we absolutely cannot afford.
And spent an hour screaming about Republic Garden and Lounge.
And honestly, that feels exactly right.
It is the natural progression of a Friday night with us.
But before we log off, I want to leave the Snark Squad with one final provocative thought.
Ponder this.
Do you think Bravo intentionally casts people who can't hold their liquor? Or does the liquor just naturally find them? Ponder that.
A chilling sociological question. Stay shady.
Stay iconic. And we'll see you next time on the Snark Side.